Hare Krishna World Raisers, Sabina and Roger here. Today we're going to read chapter 60 in Divine and Demonic Nature from this book, this time by Hari Chetan. More information on the author and this book is in the description.
So before we get started with learning this sacred and divine wisdom, we must prepare our minds. So please, Supreme Lord Krishna, bless our hearts and our minds and our very essence to be able to comprehend such deep and profound teachings.
Nice. We are on a massive, huge, big battlefield. Millions of warriors are present, and in the very middle is Arjuna begging for some answers from Krishna.
Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Fearlessness, purity of heart, knowledge, steadfastness in yoga, charity and control over the senses, performance of religious sacrifice, study of the holy scriptures, austerity, straightforwardness, non-injury to the innocent, truthfulness, absence of anger, renunciation, peacefulness, aversion to slander, kindness to beings, absence of greed, gentleness, modesty, absence of restlessness, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of hatred, absence of conceit. These attributes belong to one who is born to attain divine nature, O descendant of Bharata. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, and also harshness and ignorance. These attributes belong to one who is born to attain demonic nature, O Partha. The divine attributes are for liberation. The demonic attributes are considered to be for bondage. Do not grieve, O Pandava, for you are born with divine attributes. There are two kinds of created beings in this world, the divine and the demonic. The divine have been spoken of at great length. Hear from me, O Partha, of the demonic. People of demonic nature know not what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither purity nor good conduct nor truthfulness exist in them. They, people of demonic nature, say, the universe is a lie, has no basis of morality, has no God who rules over the universe with righteousness. It is brought about not by a systematic causal sequence, but by passionate desire for union with the opposite sex. What else could be the cause? Holding this view about the universe, the ruined souls of little intelligence engage in fierce and destructive activities harmful for the world. Taking refuge in insatiable lust, being absorbed in vanity, pride, and conceit, holding evil ideas due to delusion, they act in impure motivation. Fully engrossed in immeasurable cares, worldly and bodily cares and concerns, which have an end in death, regarding gratification of desires as the highest goal of life, feeling sure that this is all, being bound by hundreds of shackles of hope, desire, giving themselves to lust and anger, they strive to amass wealth through dishonest means for sensual enjoyment. This has been gained by me today. This object of desire I shall gain tomorrow. This is already there with me, and this wealth shall also be mine. That enemy has been killed by me already. I shall kill others too. I am the Lord. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am rich and well-born. Who else is there like me? I will perform sacrifices to please the gods and demand desire fulfillment from them. I will do charity for the same reason. I will rejoice. Thus they, demonic people, are deluded by ignorance, bewildered by numerous thoughts of desire fulfillment, entangled in the snare of delusion, and engrossed in the enjoyment of sense gratification. They, demonic people, sink into a foul hell. Self-conceited, stubborn, intoxicated by pride and wealth, they, demonic people, perform sacrifice in name only. with ostentation, without following the scriptural injunctions. Given to ego, power, arrogance, lust, and anger, these malicious people hate me in the bodies of their own and also of others. I hurl forever those cruel haters, the worst among men in the material world, the evildoers, verily into the demonic wombs in their coming lives. Entering demonic wombs, being born in demonic species, birth after birth, the fools, the ignorant ones, not attaining me, O Kuntaya, reach even lower conditions, species. This gate of hell, destructive of the self, degrading the soul to the lower species, is of three kinds: lust, anger, and greed. Therefore, one should abandon these three immediately and forever. O Kuntaya, a man who is free from these three gates to darkness strives for the good of the soul. Thus he attains the supreme goal, the eternal association of God. He who, ignoring the regulations of the scriptures, acts under the impulse of lust, neither attains perfection of human existence, nor happiness, nor the supreme goal of reaching God's abode and staying there forever. Therefore, the scriptures are your guide in determining what should be done and what should not be done. You should act here in this world, knowing the regulations declared in the scriptures. Yes. So I believe the sacred scriptures that he's talking about here are, of course, the Vedas and Upanishads. And it's also come to my attention that the Bhagavad Gita itself is like, it's like the condensed version, of the Vedas and Upanishads. It's like basically, the text that isn't going to take you forever to read. And it's like, Here it is. Here's the guiding principles to life, because it goes through everything. It says, who is God? What is our duty? What is our action? What is good action versus bad action? So it's an instruction manual for life. So that being said, we are studying, one of the most sacred scriptures right here. So, and what an instruction manual it is, because once you understand, even intellectually, the higher truths of, everything is coming from one source, then we can understand that. We can begin to see the divine in everything, right? And then we understand, our karma and our action and duty and responsibility and what is good. And just by being more loving and caring and kind, by seeing, for example, Krishna in everything, then our behavior is automatically going to change. Our level of consciousness is going to rise, naturally, right? Our mode of material nature is going to climb, from tamas to rajas to sattva, right? So higher and higher, and then eventually beyond, where we transcend it all together, and then we attain, God's abode, Sri Krishna's realm, or whatever deity, you're attracted to, and whoever you worship, because it's beyond. So, and then getting into, ignorance for me is the main cause of all the delusions, just by not knowing. But at the same time, when one can know about something and still deny it, so that still, in my mind, is ignorance, right? Because there's some people that are, holy and religious and, believe in God and all of this stuff and life after death, and they gotta love one another. They believe in all that stuff, but they're still gonna do horrible things, right? So that's prominent just in the evolution, on this planet. We have, religions and belief systems and great teachers of truth. Yet over time they get degraded, and then the people that follow the religion, they somehow don't really even understand what it is they believe in, and then still going after wealth and greed and lust and desires and material possessions and all of that, and hating others and being spiteful and wanting revenge, and even though they claim to believe in God. So so this ignorance is just everywhere in the world. So, and it's not to judge any of it, it's to be like, okay, well, can I identify it in myself and then work on my delusions and my ignorance, and then overcoming this? Because if a scripture like the Bhagavad Gita has come to you and you resonate with it, and you're at the capacity to understand, and you even want to understand,
Yeah.
that's a different quality. That's a different level. There's something else there. There's some very good karma, some merit, some grace. And not everybody's ready for that. And the only way to make it more available and ready is to raise ourselves, raise our level of consciousness, and then we raise the field and we make it more available, because our consciousness level, our frequency adds to the whole, right? So that's why such things, like praying for the world and sending out, positive, thoughts, in regards to loved ones, and when catastrophe happens, and then we, that's why I love in Tibetan Buddhism, just Om Mani Padme Hum, right? Just a prayer, a really, really quick prayer of compassion. So whenever we hear like something like like an ambulance or a police car, we're like, Om Mani Padme Hum, hopefully people are okay. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Yeah. Demoniac natures, so basically ignorance. So even though we see people, I think he's getting right to the point of, some human beings can qualify as demons, because it's the nature, it's the level of consciousness that determines what a demon is, right? Somebody who denies God, or is separated from God, or just doesn't know any better. Yeah, that's a low level of consciousness, demonic nature. So that being said, if we're studying the Gita, we are seeking to rise out of those lower natures. So thank you so much for being one of those beings. Please remember to hit the like button on this video. Let us know what you think down in the comments. And remember, most importantly, raise yourself.
And raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Peace.